Tri-flow.
Yeah, always have some tri-flow around.
Yeah.
Another magic liquid I learned about at the lab is Stabilant 23. It's you put it on electrical contacts.
Oh.
It's weird. It's a non-conductive liquid, but it enhances connectivity for AC circuits. You know, one of our EMs swears by it.
Enhances connectivity. Why would that matter if it's connected?
Well, contacts and the electrical contact, particularly in humid environments, will eventually corrode a little bit. And then once it corrodes, the corrosion pushes the contacts apart. And that makes it less conductive, which tends to make it heat up. So any kind of high power connector especially will do it. They call it contact aging. And it'll happen if things are plugged into the wall for a very long time under fairly humid environments, that you can get contact aging, and then they'll heat up, and they can even start fires.
Interesting.
Over long periods of time. So anything high power you want to look at that way, particularly inside complicated machines.
Huh.
So lower current stuff isn't as big of a problem, but then the lower current stuff tends to be more sensitive. It's not very high current. So electrical contacts are a nightmare.
So if you like mine Bitcoin for 5 years, you should probably get a fire extinguisher.
Or just jiggle a plug every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do any of that. But
No, mining Bitcoin is a waste of time.
yeah.
It's a race.
Yeah.
So whoever has the biggest, baddest, most powerful computer, they win. And then the race starts over again.
Yeah. Oh, so you're taking the lens out there.
You gotta check because it's getting stuck a little bit at the end. So I just need to clean the iris.
Okay.
Well, that's the iris. Okay. That makes more sense.
I don't know what that means. What is the iris?
Well, an iris it controls the size of the aperture.
Oh, okay. ISO? No.
ISO?
F-stop?
Oh, well,
Is that
yeah, basically it
the
is the
same?
f-stop.
Okay, yeah. Okay, got it.
Oh, well, that's on the illumination side, not the camera side.
Oh, this is on the illumination side?
I think. Isn't that the camera's up there, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So that's the objective.
Yeah, that's the
and
illumination.
that's right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it took me a while to understand how this works. It turns out the way normal microscopes are made is the right way to do it. But if you shine light on an object and look at it under a microscope, if the light's coming from every which way, then it's always blurry. Because the focal plane of the...
Oh, yeah. That's just a sphere, basically. Half sphere.
So what you want, ideally, is to have a light source where if you go from every pixel in the camera, follow it through the optical train, whatever angle that's coming down onto the sample, you want it passes through the sample, which is kind of a point, and then spreads out after that. You want that to be illuminated. You don't want any light outside of that because that'll blur the image. And if the source is smaller than that, you get those ripples around the edges. Where you get, you've seen some microscope images where there's like the edges are wiggly.
I think so. Is it like the light brightness is wiggly?
Yeah, the intensity of light on the image will wiggle around edges.
Yeah.
And that's because of the Fourier transform. And you're cutting off the high Fourier terms, and so what's left has ripples.
Oh. Yeah. It like I can picture what you're saying, but I mean I don't have any
Not really understood
practical.
where it's gone from, but
Yeah,
it took me a while to understand it.
Interesting. Yeah. I think the picture in my head is still fuzzy of it, but that was a good explanation. I just don't like yeah, I mean
Yeah, so for that reason, you want a
It's
condenser
just-
lens
yeah.
that directs the light, the right angles, but if it comes from too small of a source, and the image gets distorted, can't see as well.
Mm.
Because your crystallization drops are particularly irritating because they're a lens. Right, so they're always dark around the edges.
Crystals?
The drops, the crystals are in.
Oh right, yeah.
And that dark around the edge is because the light going through there is being refracted away.
Oh, it's going outside. I see. Okay.
And so if you have a bigger light source, you can make those edges kind of go away,
Mm-hmm.
but then it makes everything blurry because
Mm-hmm.
there's light. You have images that are coming from all different angles, and so they're in slightly different places.
So you have to get the pretty bulbous lens to get the light to go
Yeah,
wide.
okay, I'm not sure what design they came up with here, but it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It also has to work with UV light too, which might be different.
That you need more expensive optics for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a UV source as well? That condenser
Oh,
light, is that a
maybe not.
UV source?
There again,
Is that a UV source as well?
this has a UV LED.
Oh, so this is reflective.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Interesting. So it's okay. So LA showed me like the gears to clean there, and I think that should just be another maintenance thing that I should
You
do.
kind of in general, you just okay. Anything where dust would be an issue, you probably need to clean it.
That screw,
Mm.
those gears,
And probably those rails.
yeah. Yeah, the rails down there too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it probably wouldn't be like, every month, maybe like twice a year.
Depends how much dust there is, but yeah.
Yeah. Depends on how much people usually get preventive maintenance. Right? Because no one probably
Open
does
the
this.
door. Unless there's something in there making dust.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all, just. I mean, the plates themselves might have a lot of dust on them.
They do, or they?
They might, if they're
Oh,
around people a lot.
Yeah. Anything with moving
Just-
parts.
You just have a lot of
Fans
dust.
can make dust just from the bearings wearing and things like that.
Yeah, and then if you're like, I don't know, yeah, it's like